Odd Conduit Media.
What's it gonna be?
You are now listening to the
Hey, all you knowledge seekers. Welcome to another episode of
Hyrule Podcasters!
I'm your co-host, Ben.
And I'm your co-host, Pat.
On this audio-only Let's Play, we tend to venture through each game in Nintendo's Zelda franchise.
Got that right? We're not experts or purists, we're just playing each game from start to finish. Usually.
This week, we're bringing you a side quest episode where we'll be talking with Joshua from Zelda Universe. Joshua, how you doing?
I'm doing all right. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Couldn't be more excited to have you here, and you've been making the rounds and being on a lot of Zelda podcasts recently, it seems like.
Yeah, I guess I have. I've been on some other podcasts lately too.
Oh, nice.
Not just Zelda.
Not just Zelda. What are some of the other podcasts you've made appearances on? Anything you had fun with?
Oh yeah, I also do stuff with RPG Fan. So I've been doing some of that too.
Very cool.
Fun.
So,
I love it.
As you can tell, this is not one of our normal audio-only Let's Play episodes. We'll be bringing you, this is the last interview as we are in between seasons. Patrick and I are anxiously preparing to play his favorite Zelda game of all time.
Link's Awakening. So we were supposed to play Link's Awakening. This is for you, Joshua, because our listeners might know. We were supposed to play Link's Awakening last season because we're trying to do them in order. But since the Nintendo Switch put out the N64 and it had Ocarina, we thought maybe we'd skip ahead and try to be a part of the zeitgeist. And it was fun. We got to play Ocarina with a lot of people. Okay, we got to play the Deku Tree with a lot of people. Then a lot of people decided they didn't want to finish Ocarina, as happens to me most of the time. But we're circling back around to my favorite now. What do you think about Link's Awakening?
Oh, it's one of my favorites. It's not my favorite,
yeah?
But I guess on my list it would be my second favorite top-down Zelda.
Nice. And did you play it on the original Game Boy when it came out?
It was my second Game Boy. It was my second Zelda game. It was, and actually, I misspoke and said second Game Boy game, but I think it was my third Game Boy game. It was one of my first video games.
The original
really.
Or the Game Boy Color DX version?
I played both, but I did play the original first.
So what were your two first Game Boy games?
When I got my Game Boy, I got Kirby's Dream Land and Donkey Kong Land.
Nice.
Ooh, nice.
Donkey Kong Land. Interesting. Did you ever play, what is the Mario for Game Boy? Mario World? Super Mario World?
Land.
That's Super NES. Mario Land. For whatever reason, they've always done Land.
Yeah. Land.
on Game Boy.
Yeah,
but,
that's right.
I didn't actually play that until they put it on 3DS.
Ah, okay.
We definitely had it.
We definitely had that. I like Link's Awakening because Ben, my older brother over here, couldn't take the controller away from me. I could just hide and play the game all I wanted.
We learned to share very early in life.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah.
It's good.
I am the older brother, so
So you were taking the sticks. Oh man,
Yes.
did you have any rules when you played video games with your younger brother?
No, we didn't have tons of overlap in it. I'm way more into video games than he ever was.
Oh, okay.
Gotcha.
Gotcha. We had a mom who was very into video games, and then Patrick and I were very into video games, and so there was a lot of video game playing happening in our house.
No, my second brother followed in my footsteps on video games, but the rest of my family did not.
And do you still game? Do you game with your second, your youngest brother, I guess?
When I see him.
When you see him.
But cool. I don't see them that often.
Yeah, Ben and I have tried to translate it into, some Mario Party or some Super Smash Bros. Online. And we do occasionally. We play the new Mario Party a decent amount, once a month or so.
I like that a lot.
But it's just more fun in person, I think. And it's just easier to make the time. to drop
Sure.
what you're doing in person and start playing.
All right, so we have a few different things that we're gonna kind of work through. I think most people probably instantaneously ask you about favorite Zelda, first Zelda experience, but people know all that stuff. So we're tossing that aside. We're gonna actually jump right in to a game that you don't know about, that Pat doesn't know about it either, that I have created this should hopefully be a fun trip down memory lane for you, Joshua. So what I did is I noticed in your Twitter profile that you listed the username umil1988. And so
Yes.
I decided just to plug that into Google and just see what shows up.
Oh no.
And so what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna read back to you some things that you posted on on fan gamer sites. Everything's in Joshua, just so you know, we're a very PG podcast. So this maybe more will embarrass you than be anything that would throw an explicit rating on here. So the idea is for you to try and figure out what was the name of the thread for this particular comment. All right.
This is
Oh,
awesome.
boy.
This is a great
Oh,
game.
boy.
All right. So here we go. I think this one should be an easy one, and I will tell you if you were the kind of first person to, like, if you're the initiator or if you're replying. So this one you initiated. You created this thread, and so here is the question. Just a quick question. Parenthetical. I hope this is the correct board. Was any clay artwork ever released for Mother 3, GBA or N64, like the Mother 1 and Mother 2 stuff? Question. If not, was any official artwork ever released at all?
So what are you wanting from me as the answer to this?
I want you to think, what could the thread name have been called?
The thread name, not where I posted it.
Yeah.
Well, the thread name is probably something like, is there official artwork for Mother 3?
We'll give it to you. So the thread was clay artwork, ? Any artwork, ?
Okay.
And yes, this was in the Mother 3 or Earthbound 2 on fangamer.com.
Yeah, which at the time was probably starmen.net still.
Ah, yes. Okay. That gets referenced later on in one of these.
Okay.
Okay, so Joshua won.
1 for 1. Definitely.
I do like Mother 3. So.
I saw that in the threads.
I was
reading.
I was very much part of begging and begging and begging.
Well, I think
Still am.
this next one goes right along here. So you are replying to a thread, and here is your answer. It's been almost a week since I got my copy, and I'm still somewhat shocked every time I see the box or turn on the game. It's still hard to believe that I actually own the game after waiting a decade for it. And so, what do you think this thread was talking about?
Waiting a decade for a game. I mean, this could be Mother 3 again.
It is.
But
So the
Okay.
thread question, yeah, very good. The thread question was when you first saw your copy of M3. So you're
Wow.
you're right in alignment here. So you're doing great.
Wow.
yeah, so I actually just it's coincidence that you brought this up now, because there was a Twitter thread recently where I think it was just a thing going around where people were like, "What was the first thing you ever bought online?" So I went looking and digging through the sites I knew I used to go to, and Mother 3 might have actually been the first thing I ever bought myself online.
Oh wow, that's it. How did you purchase Mother 3? Because that wasn't something that was easily released from my least knowledge.
I imported it through Play Asia
Wow.
in 2007, which would have been just about a year and a half or so after it was released in Japan.
Wow.
Now, was that disc or cartridge, was it like region locked in some way? Did you have a
No.
No, okay. So you could just plug it in.
It's a Game Boy Advance game,
Oh, okay.
and Game Boys aren't region locked.
Oh, very nice. Very nice.
So I played through about half of the game in Japanese and then got stuck. And then I've replayed it since then with the fan translation.
And gotten
But
have you beaten it?
I bet the game was fairly linear up to a point, and then you kind of get to a point that's a dead end and it requires backtracking. And without having the text or a guide to use at that point, I was kind of lost.
Gotcha.
Amazing.
Well, that's dedication. You know, I once got a Game Boy that belonged to Sean Lennon. It was a DS Lite. And Sean Lennon's personal assistant was a friend of a friend, and I was helping him move. And I was like, oh, you got a Japanese DS Lite there. That's cool. He said, you know what? Sean doesn't want it. You can have it. And it was all in Japanese. And for years, I just couldn't navigate it. I couldn't figure it out. I couldn't change the language. I figured out I can't change the language on it, but I still own it. And I look at it sometimes and think, that's Sean Lennon's DS Lite.
That's amazing.
All right.
It's amazing, right?
So ridiculous. So ridiculous.
Yeah, I wish I could go grab Mother 3 to just show it, because I do have it, but it's not anywhere close to within reach.
Yeah, it's packed away.
It's literally in a safe.
Oh, wow. All right.
Nice. I should put my Sean Lennon DS Lite in a safe. If you got any room in your safe, I'll mail it to you.
Okay. For this next one, I'm going to give you the comment before yours because it provides important context or else you would not be able to get it. And then I'll give you your answer. So the post before yours was from Blah1017. And he said, someone tinkered with the contrast in that underground picture and came up with this. They then linked to a picture. And the picture's URL ends with underground ADJ3AU5. And then he continues to say, looks like an underground cave with lava. To which you replied, Image Shack removed the image due to bandwidth issues. What game were you talking about that may have been having a stage with some lava in a cave?
Super Smash Brothers.
Super Smash Brothers!
And another one for Joshua.
So this thread, the title was Super Smash Bros. Website, updated week daily, parenthetical, super big M3 spoilers as of 12/18/07 was the name of the thread.
Wow. Bringing it back.
I know.
This is great. You're really digging stuff up. Did you find my old live journal while you're at it?
I did.
I can't seem to find my old live journal.
All right, these last two get pretty wonky, but we're pretty far into the game, so they're supposed to get a little harder. So you wrote, well done. As I know 3 pages of people, and the post title for that matter have already said, this is one of the coolest things ever. I'm eagerly anticipating Iato's and anyone else's response. Someday I'll have the financial means to throw money at you guys. Right now, I just wish I had enough money to go to McDonald's and put gas in my truck. Being a poor college student isn't only fun. This one's tough.
He's
thinking. The wheels are turning.
I recall going to McDonald's and having a truck when I was in college. I'm surprised you were digging stuff up this long ago, actually.
The internet keeps everything.
I know, right? All right, so I will give you a hint. It has to do with site info. Site info about something that had changed recently. I am unfamiliar with this game.
Yeah, I don't have anything on that.
All right, so here we go. So it's site info : PK Japan Siege, probably the coolest thing ever. And I was wondering if you could elucidate for us what that might be about.
Man, you're just pulling all the Starmen things, aren't you? I actually don't remember. What the name implies to me is that it may have been one of the campaigns where they had fans from outside Japan put together letters or artwork or whatever they made, and then they shipped it off to... Oh, you said Itoi, didn't you, in the thread? Mm-hmm. So Shigesato Itoi is the creator of Earthbound Mother. And so Starmen, in particular, would put packages together and ship them off to show him that fans in the West really, really like his work.
Yeah, that's exactly what this is.
I suspect that's what it was.
It is so cool. Like, I dropped a link into Discord if you wanted to check it out, and we'll link to it in the show notes for some of these. But yeah, essentially it was a crowdfunding to raise some money to send people that worked on the game this amazing, beautiful artwork. It's really cool. All right.
Are we counting that as a point?
Yeah, he got the explainer, so we'll give him a point. All
Let's
right.
give him a half a point.
This game is easy.
We're giving you a half a point.
I get points even if I don't get it right.
You get a half a point.
All right.
We'll give you one half a point off. So what is that? 3.5 W's, 0.5 L's.
All right, and we got one last one here. This one's definitely going to be the hardest, I think. Quote, well, unlike most other people, I like the Starman. I think it's lighted perfectly and looks great. It does stand out a bit too much, but I don't think throwing the pixely battle sprite is a good solution to that problem. Overall, I think it looks great. I've only got one suggestion to consider: drop shadows. Maybe it's a bit overused at this point. I don't use much of them when I design things, but designs that don't have nice ends always bug me a bit. The top of the design is blue and rectangular, but after the navigation is done, the rest of the page is just white and there is no clear edge on the left or right. Adding a drop shadow down the left and right-hand side might be a nice touch. Now, the only suggestion I have is to actually make that story about the Reggie interview the real deal. Great work. What was this about?
Sounds like it was about a website redesign.
It was the new site design, the Mark II new site design.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah.
So that
was that Starman again? Was Starman the only place you could find me still on the internet?
That was the most prolific place that you were. So
and
they had the best kind of it was very easy for me to figure out what was going on, so I could actually prompt you. I had like hints for each one if you needed them to kind of get you to there. But that's a 4.5 out of 5. That's wonderful.
4.5 out of 5.
playing.
Incredible.
Yeah, it's interesting that was where you found me. Because the name actually did originate on Zelda sites, and then kind of stuck on the Nintendo Insider forums, which are offline, so you wouldn't be able to easily search them. You'd have to go to the Wayback Machine and hope you can find some public threads or something you could read. But but yeah, I'm a little surprised that Starman.net still has all that.
Well, I think this leads really nicely into the first, actual topic that we wanted to talk to you about, and that's about your work at Zelda Universe. You most recently posted onto Twitter talking about kind of the first 20 years of work that's been going on there, and looking forward, projecting forward for the next 20 years, and what fan-led, Zelda content and creation and celebration is all going to be about. And I just thought you could give us a quick primer on what you're currently up to at Zelda Universe there.
What we're currently up to is a lot of a waiting game, which unfortunately happens occasionally because you can only come up with so much stuff you just want to write about and do and stay motivated to do in between Zelda games. And at this point, it's been a while since we even got a remake or anything. And a lot of folks are just kind of tired and just waiting for Breath of the Wild 2. So I'm sure it will all just explode as soon as we actually have news again. But otherwise, like I'm one of the webmasters, so like I'm very big picture in a lot of things. So I do a lot of where we're tweaking the actual design of the website, and then kind of changing how we format certain content, maybe expanding into some other little content, whether that's changing up how the guides are done, or adding a new kind of guide, or adding new columns to our weekly rotation, and stuff like that. So I'm very big picture on a lot of it nowadays. But that is kind of what we're up to. Aside from that is just there's a lot of stuff happening on the media side, which my counterpart Cody really handles more than me. But with us kind of reevaluating our own podcast and what we do with it, and then getting new YouTube content on the channel, and things like that. We just recently revamped our whole Twitch format and schedule and all of that. So this downtime is kind of a moment for us to just reflect on how things are going and plan for what to do when it all picks up again.
Cool. Yeah, it's nice to have some downtime. I mean, we're all clearly waiting for Breath of the Wild 2, and I'm sure a lot of people are annoyed about that. But it does give us a good beat, and it gives you a good breather. You can kind of reevaluate. For all the listeners out there, you can totally register your email address at zeldauniverse.net and be a part of the forums. And then in 20 years, if you're on a podcast, somebody could read your old posts from ZeldaUniverse.net and play a game with you.
Those forums have been there for most of the 20 years, I believe, with very little downtime. I don't know exactly how far back the posts go. I know of one period of time where we did lose some data, but it was only like we lost like a week or something, and then couldn't, and then they were down for a couple months while we fixed everything. But otherwise, most of 20 years of discussion is there.
Incredible. So, how did you make the Breath of the Wild map that is so like easily navigatable on your site?
The short answer is I didn't. So we partnered with another Zelda site called Hyrule Legends, which is actually a Portuguese Zelda site. The owner of it, Danilo, had been working on those kinds of maps for years and came to us to partner with it on it. It does use a readily available web tool for making those kinds of maps. So like I have learned how to do it since then, but I did not make the Breath of the Wild one. And then I know that a lot of being able to populate the info so quickly and so accurately is just a lot of people know how to get into game code now, and all of that information is just lying there in wait if you know where to find it.
I got you.
I don't know how to find it, so but we had a bunch of people eager to do that. Actually, the original plan was for us to populate it ourselves. We just started with a blank map, and when the game came out, we were like, okay, let's mark as we go where the Korok seeds are and where we find cool things, and we'll fill it all in. And then within a week, someone had cracked open the whole thing and it was like, here's everything, here all of it.
Yeah, that's much easier. These are really cool maps. So everybody at home, if you're playing through Breath of the Wild or Link's Awakening for the Switch, you can go and look at these really cool maps that kind of just show you what you might have left behind, or if you're just trying to blow through it and 100% it without doing too much exploring. Really cool.
Well, you just said
show you
blow through 100% it with 970 Korok seeds. Just blow through it. Just whatever.
Well, as opposed to 100%ing it without using a guide. Sure. I guess I would say, as time stood still for a couple years there, in the past couple years, I went back and I 100%ed Super Mario Sunshine and Mario 64 and a bunch of other games. And he's shaking his head. Never Sunshine, dude. Sunshine was such a pain. Oh my gosh,
I like that game. I'm just never gonna 100% it.
Dude, it's not worth it. It's not worth it. There's so many, and I'm just veering a little bit here. There's so many shine sprites that are difficult because clearly they rushed the game out, and it's poor game design, not because they made the levels hard. Like trying to get Yoshi all the way to the other side of the thing with the island. Like,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Days. It took me days. But I can now say that I 100%ed it, so I never have to do that again. Now I can just get the shine sprites I want and play the final boss and move on the next time I play it.
Amazing. One thing I was thinking about, going back to the map, who is it on the map? Beetle. Where is he?
Beetle's not on the map.
What's he doing?
I don't know.
I think
he's go check in with him real quick.
Yeah, see what's going on.
Thanks, Beetle, and we'll make sure you're on that map. Don't you worry, buddy.
I will actually pitch that if he's not on the map. I need to suggest that be something we add. So we actually don't know if, honestly have not gotten as far with the maps as we wanted. Like we have Breath of the Wild and Link's Awakening. The intent has always been to just have all of them, and it just hasn't quite happened.
Nice.
But that's just the nature of volunteer-based web projects. It's hard to, and especially when there's downtime like this, it's hard to keep folks motivated. I highly suspect when Breath of the Wild 2 hits, just like when Link's Awakening hit, there'll be a group of people eager to make a map immediately.
Yeah.
And get that done. But that's all at zeldamaps.com, but Zelda Universe does operate zeldamaps.com.
Oh, got it.
Very cool. I see that it's a different URL when I click on
that was my idea. Initially it was just going to be like maps.zeldauniverse.net, and one day I just decided to type it in and see if by chance that domain was there, and to my surprise it was.
Nice.
So I was just like, hey everyone, how about this?
We got a new project.
Well, speaking of new projects, anybody out there listening that would like to help make some maps, holler. We can put you in touch with Joshua, and next thing you know, you might have a map on ZeldaUniverse.net's map section, aka ZeldaMaps.com.
So one of the things that I was most excited about is you had actually reached out to me quite a while ago about, you're building out your the podcast listenings and just kind of driving more people. There seem to be more and more Zelda podcasts, popping up. It seems like every few months there's somebody new on the scene doing something different, tackling something from a new perspective. And I'm wondering, what your takes are on, the really kind of eruption of podcasts really over the last like 2 or 3 years in the space, and how that connects new people into the franchise as a whole.
So it actually really surprised me. So ZU's had we call it it's a community podcast is how it started. It came out of the forums. Actually, they wanted to have something like just a podcast about Zelda, but also just about what was going on. Whether that was, they do things like, here's the community member of the month, and we had an art competition, and we played games, and they won the tournament, and stuff like that. But they did that over 10 years ago, which was kind of a different era in podcasting. Absolutely. And then it kind of went away. And it felt like podcasts were just not a thing anymore. YouTube was the future. And so we kind of ditched it. We were like, the podcast dream is over. Let's go do something else. And then kind of just out of nowhere, it all came back. In fact, our own podcast was run by someone who ran the old one, or contributed heavily to the original. Yeah, it definitely caught all of us off guard. It totally caught me off guard. I was even listening to podcasts for like web design purposes and things, and it never occurred to me to just type the word Zelda into the thing. And we had our own podcast, and it never occurred to me that maybe someone else did. So just totally caught me off guard that it existed at all. And then once, of course, I went in, I was like, there's so much stuff here. And now I can't keep up with them. I have a flood of Zelda podcasts in my podcast feed. And on a good week, I might listen to one.
Right.
And then I come across it and I'm like, well, I really want to listen to Hyrule Podcasters, but I missed the whole season. I need to go back to the beginning, and I'm just never going to catch up.
Yeah, I feel you.
It's definitely surprised me. But I really like the podcast format. So notably, I'm on a podcast right now. But like I do like I like that maybe more than I like doing YouTube stuff. I listen to YouTube audio only a lot of the time. I don't watch the video part unless I feel like it's really important to what I'm listening to.
Yeah.
But I like just discussions and interviews and essays and those kinds of things. So I don't know, like it like I said, it was surprising, but I like it. I think it is a really good avenue forward, and is maybe more accessible to folks than YouTube content creation, because you don't need a whole bunch of extra experience.
Oh, that's true.
Like podcasting requires editing, and like no matter what you did, like Zelda content creation or any content creation has evolved so much over the last 20 years. Like we started Zelda Universe, we all started our own websites at the time because that's what you did. Like if you wanted something on the internet, that's how you did it.
Right.
And then social media came around and kind of changed that, and YouTube changed it. And but you really need a microphone to make a podcast.
Yeah.
It's a much lower barrier to entry than needing to learn HTML or needing to learn how to edit a video or any of those other things. So I think that may draw people in to some extent, just that it's simpler. But I am all for anybody finding any way to make stuff that they're excited about.
Yeah, that's a good point. You know, I think that it's easier to start an audio only project, right? Just simply you have one thing to do. You make something that you can listen to. When you get into the video, I mean, even though we all have, you know, most of us have some kind of camera on our phone, it still just makes it so much more complicated. And then the other thing I think is that it's easier, at least I found that for me, it's easier for me to get into an audio only media experience because when I do have downtime, I want to walk or I'm driving somewhere or I am doing something visually, like playing a video game, right? And to be able to listen to something while I do any of those things is easier than sitting down and dedicating my time to watching a YouTube video. And like you said, like I just listened the other day to a history, like the chronological history of the Metroid series. And I didn't really need, I didn't really need, you know it. And I didn't really need to look, you know, like they had some cool screenshots and some cool images and some cool gameplay. But, you know, I didn't really need to be watching it. It could have very easily been an audio only thing. And that's, you know, with our podcast, we try to give somebody the gameplay experience while they're jogging or driving. They don't have to be watching the screen to do that.
Hashtag, you can't always be watching Twitch. That is like,
yeah, that's exactly what I do. Like I set up YouTube, but I listen to it in the car.
Yep.
I mean, and I don't, and I do the same thing with the podcast, or if I'm out for a walk and I'm not actually watching YouTube, I'm just listening to YouTube.
Right. You know, Ben and I once drove from New York City to Ohio and listened to Pulp Fiction the whole ride.
Yeah. You've seen it now.
Audiobooks are good for those long drives too.
For sure.
Yeah.
No, I have driven from Dallas to Baltimore and back multiple times.
Woo! That's a drive. Yeah, I've done Portland to Ohio a few times in the last few years, and it's, you know, I spent a lot of my life on the road, though. I'm used to that.
Playing right off of this, I noticed one of the most recent articles written by you is about our brothers from another mother, the Sacred Realms boys.
Yep.
On your YouTube, and they were talking about it on last week's pod as well, and that's pretty exciting new collaboration.
Yeah, their idea, but yeah. To a spoiler is we accidentally discovered that the other brothers and I live very near each other. So Cody. Cody's kind of also the intermedium there, that he's on their show all the time.
Yes.
And they just happen to be nearby. Honestly, when people say they're in Texas, I just assume they're 10 hours away.
Sure.
Right.
Like you saying you're in Texas doesn't mean anything to me. And so yeah, I went and I got to go meet Matt and Lyndon and talk about it, and they were interested in doing something with us, so we figured it out.
That's great. Did you have a cigar and some whiskey with them? That's what when they record.
That's what they always do.
And have the train go back behind them. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah. But no, I am very much a water person.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to the water. Gotta have it on deck when you're recording, especially.
So yeah, we're putting the Sacred Realms podcast on our YouTube channel.
Yeah, that's really
cool.
What that partnership is we're talking about.
That's great.
And then maybe there'll be some other cool stuff sometime.
That's cool.
They're great. They're really good companion podcasts to us. You know, you can listen to us play it and then listen to them talk about it.
It is one of those places where I think they're only like 5 years younger than us. but they have a totally different initial experience of video games.
Yeah, definitely.
That has been really fun to engage with them on. I think we'll be on this season's the final episode for The Legend of Zelda, talking about Dungeon 8
Death Mountain
and Dungeon 9. So we're excited.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, buddy, them's my boys.
Yeah, I
totally.
Don't have anything official at this point, but there's talk about me being there for Zelda 2.
Ooh,
That's I love Zelda 2.
I love Zelda 2 as well.
Yeah, so that would be why. I know they've alluded to a few times on their show. They just say future guest Joshua.
Yes.
I've heard that. That's so funny. Yeah, we played through Zelda 2. Ben likes it, I think he just likes it to mess with me because that video game killed
I genuinely love it. I actually, people like you mentioned, people always ask me, "What's your favorite Zelda game?" Blah blah. So I actually keep a list and I modify it as I replay games. I change up the order.
Nice.
The Adventure of Link is currently number 6 on my list.
Amazing.
Right after Breath of the Wild.
Amazing. I think the only thing that I said that prevented it from being a truly great game is and this is a spoiler for the end of a 30-year-old game, and it is
Thank you, Ben.
the fight against Dark Link is almost an impossible thing to do if you don't cheese it.
Yeah, nobody fights.
And
I'm gonna be the stickler. Nobody fights Link's Shadow is the character's name.
Link's Shadow.
The way you're supposed to. Trying to fight that boss legitimately is basically it's not impossible, but it's close.
Yeah, but I think everything else, like I'm fine with the how obscure it is and how you have to. You have to do a lot of exploring to kind of figure things out and discover and find things. And I don't mind the difficulty ramp for it. And, dying is pretty harmless, I would say, in that game compared to lots of other games at the same time. So, yeah, that's
it's maybe harmless compared to some of the other games of that era.
Right.
Right.
Like, yeah, it still hurts when you're 100 experience points away from getting that next level and then you hit a game over.
Flashbacks.
Right.
Flashbacks.
The original Dark Souls, maybe? Anybody? Is it the first? Should we be calling them Legend of Link likes?
Stop.
Adventure of Link likes. That's what it should be called, not Souls likes.
The Adventure of Link, it's really like an early Metroidvania. It's just a good way to think about it. You're basically playing Metroid. It's just instead of elevators going from Brinstar directly to Norfair, you take the elevator back up to the overworld, and then you take a different elevator down to Norfair. But it's just it did take me a long time to like it. I finished it for the first time 8 years ago. Excuse me, 8 years ago, and I used save states the whole way through. On my 3DS, I was hitting save state before every Iron Knuckle.
Yep.
And
as you should. And now you can just rewind on Switch, which is how I suggest.
Which would have been much faster. Definitely use save states and rewind for those games.
Absolutely.
To learn them, but I think the benefit to playing the game that way. I'm going on a Zelda 2 tangent.
We love it.
Is that
we welcome Zelda 2 tangents.
You learn the game. Like there's always things in that game that I think are mostly technical limitations that a lot of NES games have. Like if you all have ever played Ninja Gaiden or Castlevania, it has the same problem Zelda 2 has, where as soon as you scroll off the screen a little bit, the enemy you just killed is there again. And they just keep on coming. And so you can never set up a perfect jump because the enemy is always there. So there's a few things that are really kind of unfair. But other than that, fighting the enemies is just a matter of practicing and learning what really are patterns. Some of the patterns don't seem like it, which again I think feels like a technical limitation. There's the axe throwing guys that are like the worst.
They're the worst. They're so
you think you have their pattern down, and then they seem to throw 2 in a row. And I think it's because the animation almost like loops. And it like loops and it starts and ends on a throw. And so it doesn't have a space like it's supposed to. And that's a theory. I don't know the actual inner workings of the game. It just seems that way. And so there's little quirks you have to work around like that. But using save states and rewind to fight them over and over and over and over again just eventually makes you good at it. And so I still use rewind when I replay the game every year. I've already played it this year, and I'm going to play it again because Matt and Lyndon are making me, basically.
Yeah.
And
I will not be replaying that game.
So you're not going to be on an episode then with me?
For me, it's like a fun weekend thing to do. That and The Legend of Zelda. I'll play each of those just on a weekend, just for fun, while TV's on in the background or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta say, use rewind for things that feel unfair. I took a jump and a little flying horse head knocked me into the lava. Whatever. I'm just gonna rewind that.
Yeah,
but
I feel
for the most part, I don't need it anymore.
I'm a big Mega Man player, so I know all about respawning and dying and learning, and but I'm good at those games, and you don't have to talk to the villagers in Mega Man. I'm not a RPG guy, so the RPG elements of Zelda 2 are along with like the quirky mechanics really just irritate the crap out of me. Now, playing through with Ben was fine because Ben, could be like, do this, do that. That person said this, But as an RPG player, I on Zelda 2 a lot. But if you're an RPG player and you have Switch, use the rewind. Listeners out there, see if you like it. Have some fun with it.
Yeah, no, most of what I play is RPG adjacent in some way. Like I consider Zelda an RPG. Not everybody does, but
sure.
All right, so I think we have some lightning round questions for you, Joshua, as
Let's do this.
Wrap up. Okay, so what is your favorite non-Zelda Nintendo video game series?
Probably Metroid. I should say Metroid. My friend and coworker Elias is going to be really mad at me if I don't say Metroid. But it's probably Metroid. Yeah, we'll go with that. I can't really think of something else I really like. I like a lot of them, but not tons. I play every Metroid game and I replay them frequently.
Sounds like
probably Metroid.
I'm right there with you.
All right. Same question, but a non-Nintendo franchise.
Ogre Battle.
Ogre Battle.
Specifically, Ogre Battle 64 is my favorite, but Ogre Battle is my other favorite game series, which I also operate a fan site for.
I saw that on your Twitter. Yeah. Is that a real-time strategy style game?
So Ogre Battle and Tactics Ogre are the same series. Ogre Battle is a real-time strategy, turn-based strategy hybrid that simulates a large-scale battlefield where you send squadrons around a map in real time that then have turn-based RPG battles with enemy squadrons. Tactics Ogre is the predecessor to Final Fantasy Tactics and Triangle Strategy and things like that. So
I'm looking at some gameplay right now, and it looks just like it.
Very cool. Yeah. Very cool. If you could forget one Zelda game so you could relive it fresh, which game would that be?
A Link to the Past. Which is my favorite and my first, so...
Yeah, what a great game.
We got around to figuring out his favorite without asking him. Amazing.
Haha!
No, I mean, it's the game that got me into... It's really the game that kind of got me into video games. Like, I had a few games before that, but it was actually the first game I picked up for myself that wasn't just mom and dad got it for Christmas. And then got me into just really my whole life at this point. So yeah, that one.
Amazing.
I've known it my entire life and just had it memorized. So I still love playing it, but it is. I have a memory of it that's not like my memory for any of the others.
Yeah, for sure. All right, and then these last two, we'll ask you to gaze forward a little bit for us. What quarter is Breath of the Wild 2 going to release in 2023?
I am still thinking it's quarter one. I think it's March.
Okay.
Wow.
All right.
Very optimistic.
Maybe, but it was supposed to come out this year originally, and I don't think they were lying. I think they delayed it a few months to get a little bit of extra time.
Well, I don't ever think they're lying, but things happen over there at Nintendo.
No, I know.
They don't want to put
they
out another
will.
Super Mario Sunshine. They want to finish the game before they put it out.
It's been in development for a very long time at this point.
It has. You're right.
So,
You're right. I like that prediction. I like it.
All right. And last one, will Zelda be a playable character ever in a Zelda game?
Oh, ever?
Ever.
Sure. Well, she's already been playable in a Zelda game.
Well, how about this? How about in a mainline story base? So not like Hyrule Warriors and that kind of stuff. In a mainline traditional Zelda game, is Zelda going to be playable?
Can play her in Spirit Tracks. Yeah, I think it'll happen. I don't think it'll happen in Breath of the Wild 2, but I think it'll happen.
Quick bonus lightning round. Metroid Prime 4. Is it ever going to come out?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, I love this optimism. Dope. I like the lightning round, Ben. Thanks for coming up with all these cool questions. Joshua, thanks for coming on. Do you have anything else that you want to plug before we get out of here?
You can follow me on Twitter. I'm at WatcherJoshua. And we've already talked about Zelda Universe, but I also operate ZeldaArchive.org, which is where I document essentially the history of our community and active fan sites and fan projects from going back 20 years.
Incredible work. And we'll have all those links in the show notes for you. Well, that about does it. Ben, you feeling good?
Feeling great.
Well, thanks everybody for joining us for another episode of
Hyrule Podcaster.
Oh yeah, we'll see you next time.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for plugging into this week's episode of
Hyrule Podcaster.
If you like what you're hearing and want to support us directly, you can head over to our Patreon for early access to episodes, exclusive Discord benefits, behind-the-scenes videos, and more.
If you'd like updates, you can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Hyrule Podcasters and Twitter at Hyrule Podcaster. Links to everything can be found in the show notes.
And be sure to rate and review us in Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you happen to listen.
As always, this episode was produced by your co-host, Patrick, and we'd like to thank LT Headtrip for composing original music for the podcast, including our theme song.
And again, thank you so much for tuning in and listening. May the way of the hero lead to the Triforce. Odd
Conduit Media.